What is happening? Hope everyone is doing well. We have a Starbucks Grande Blonde Latte. So I want to chat about automate, delegate, remove. Today, I want to chat about mindset. Today, I want to chat about becoming a lifelong learner. Today, we are talking about sales processes. So we're going to entitle these live sessions Coffee with Cody. What is happening? Hope everyone is doing well. Hope you're having a great evening. It's been a couple days since I have done a Coffee with Cody. I got a little fired up and want to chat with you about some things. Usually do these at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Today was just absolutely crazy. We had a lot of cool stuff happening here at Studio PTBO. If this is your first time tuning into Coffee with Cody, I want to say thank you. More than anything, thank you for your attention. Super excited to chat about why you should think of yourself like a media company. Before I get into that, I want to dive in really quickly to, if this is your first time, I want to say thank you. And the biggest thing I want to really cover right now, more than anything, it's your first time tuning into the Coffee with Cody. Really what we cover in these is really to give the entrepreneurial community massive value around entrepreneurship, around branding, around marketing, around sales, personal development. That's really what Coffee with Cody is all about. So thank you for tuning in. I'm going to turn on the comments really quickly here so I can see if anyone wants to type in. If you have any questions about media, about marketing during this live, by all means, feel free to throw them in the comment section below. Be happy to help. Today, we're chatting about why you think I can't speak right now. Why you should see yourself as a media company, why it's so important. So the encouragement that I want to give to every client out there, anybody that is thinking of working with us or any entrepreneur, the biggest encouragement I want to give is the shift in your mindset when you can start to think of yourself like a media company is something that is something that is like super important. The more that you can produce content for your brand, the more that you can tell your story, the more people you're going to get in front of. If you look at the top brands in the world, the Coca-Colas of the world, the Fujifilms, what they look at themselves as is a media company. So whenever they're advertising themselves, whenever they're producing content, they're producing a ton of content and they're going really niche towards their target market in their advertising. Even though they create a ton of marketing content, they get really niche in every single piece of content that you essentially create. So the beautiful thing about creating content now is you no longer have to rely on a CBC, CNN. You can actually create content for yourself. This is actually owned media. You create content yourself, whether it be through a video, whether it be through audio, whether it be through written, whatever way that you want to communicate your message. You don't have to rely on the radio anymore. You don't have to rely on CBC. You don't have to rely on these old traditional mediums. You can actually produce content for yourself. So if you start to think of yourself like a media company and start using Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, TikTok as platforms to actually communicate your message, you can quickly become the expert in residence. And what you then can do is get what they call earned media. So earned media is essentially getting featured in an article or getting featured on your local radio station or getting featured on your local TV station, and then essentially using that content on social media. So it's like if you start to think of yourself as a media company, you can essentially hack attention. So say like I'll give you an example. So if you're watching this for the first time, earned media is something that I would recommend. We do for a lot of our clients. So we have a client that was recently on breakfast television. So what we did is we took that piece of content, ran it long. We just download it. We ran that piece of content on social media. So on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on Instagram, and then we cut it into short sequences to essentially, because there was other things that this client said that we wanted to use to specifically, build credibility in the online space. The fact he was on breakfast television was absolutely amazing. So you can actually think of yourself like a media company and take earned media. So if you were on the radio, take that content and run it on social media. If you were on breakfast television, like our client, then take that content, run it on social media, because it quickly builds the credibility in the online space. But the biggest thing I want to get across today, more than anything, is you don't have to rely on these channels. You can become the media company. You can produce more content through written, through audio, through video, whether it be through TikTok, whether it be through Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. These are all platforms, and you now have to. The ball has been put in your court to actually produce the content, and that shift that happens for real estate agents, for entrepreneurs, when they start to look at themselves as a media company, it's really interesting because their business starts to grow, and there's more and more awareness that happens around their business. And especially if they take the earned media, so the media that they got on like their local radio station, or they use the tool. So if you're listening to this podcast, use a tool called helpareporter.com. We actually have the CEO coming on from that company, and it's how you essentially can get featured on different articles or get featured on different podcasts. Helpareporter.com. So the biggest thing I want to get across today, I just wanted to hop on here really quickly, is when you produce content, it doesn't have to be over polished. And I was actually on a coaching call today with somebody where it's like, look at the things that are actually performing really well on social media. It's memes. It's pictures of food. I'm running a free giveaway right now, and literally the free giveaway was just me looking at these Apple AirPods, and I used an app called Layout, and I cut it together, and I said, hey, I'm giving away a pair of Apple AirPods, and I think it's been shared close to like 60 or 70 times. There's tons of comments. People are now going over to Instagram, tagging me there. I picked up like 25, 30 followers over there. But that's what I mean. Like, if you start to think of yourself as a media company, you start to do things like a media company. You start to think about what are different prizes that I can give away, and what are different things that I can give away in order to increase my reach. And then beyond that is like, how can I use traditional media to leverage on social media to continue to build credibility? Like, if you were on your local radio station, make sure you post a photo of that, because that instantly creates the credibility in the online space. You are the media company. So that's owned media. That's media that you essentially create. But then there's earned media that can be taken and essentially leveraged on social media. So this is something I would highly recommend. If you go on the radio, take a photo of the fact that you were on the radio. If you go on TV, again, these are all things that help you build credibility on the online space. If you were featured in an article, post that feature of that article. But also think of yourself like the media company, because you are the media company. Produce content, tell your story, whether it be a photo of your food, like if you're a real estate agent, or you're out shopping, or you essentially were out golfing. The more that you tell your story, the more you let the end consumer into your world, the better results you're going to have in the online space. And that's really all I wanted to hop on here really quickly and talk about: why you should think of yourself as a media company, why you should be producing more content, why you should be telling your story more. It's really interesting, because the more of these Coffee with Cody's that I do, and like I've been slacking on these over the last couple of days, the more that I do, the more clients just naturally come to us. So I'm telling you, the more that you produce content, the more that you tell your story with written, with video, with audio, the more that you do this, the more that you become top of mind. It's all repetition, 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 repetition. The top brands in the world were really built on repetition. You look at the brands like, the best one I can give you an example of is Buckley's. It tastes awful and it works. They've drilled that into your head over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. And the people that are winning in the online space on social media organically, I'm not talking about paid ads, I'm talking about organic media. The people that are winning are in your feed day in and day out, day in and day out. And they're not trying to really sell you anything. They're just providing massive value, similar to this video. I'm just trying to give you information more than anything. Use Help a Reporter. Get featured on your local radio station. Take a photo of that, or your local TV. Take a photo of that. Post the fact that you were on the local radio station or the local TV. I'm telling you, there's owned media, there's earned media. They're both important. Just wanted to hop on here really quickly. I hope everyone's having a great Tuesday night. Hope you have a great Tuesday night. Hope you got a lot of value today. And if you have any questions around Coffee with Cody, if you have any questions around marketing, sales, branding, we'd love to answer your questions. Hope you have a great day. Thank you for tuning in to Coffee with Cody. We will chat with you soon.